And we're live. Always good to join when people are laughing.
The best. Oh, that's great.
All right.
That's a good
Yes.
Oh, you're really laughing?
You're really laughing.
I was going to say something after you, sir.
So we caught that. I don't think we caught what the. We didn't catch what the comment was, but we caught the laughter afterwards. So things we don't need to repeat, or should we? No. Okay. No. Making sure we're live. Checking my phone.
There we are.
Yeah, there we are. Hey, how about
Kind of
that?
blend into the background a little bit.
You do. You came nicely camouflaged. Yeah. All right, so here we are, Lab517. We're approximately 24 hours and change, 10 minutes or so into the 48-hour challenge. So we're doing a check-in, but real quickly to set the stage again. We're Centerline Digital. We are a digital marketing agency in Raleigh, North Carolina, and we're coming to you right now from our brand new conference space in the addition that we're building over on Northwest Street. Nice little mural of Raleigh somewhere behind us here. You can see part of it. Beautiful view of the ale house and other parts of Glenwood South in front of us. Currently we're in the process of doing something called Lab517. If you hear large construction noises, that's because the space is actually being built while we use it, which is always a good plan. But this actual business address is 517, which is where Lab517 comes from, and this is all about putting into practice a lot of our agile marketing principles. And in this case, we're doing it with ShelterBox, which is an international. These amazing boxes of shelter, incredible tents that you've probably seen on Instagram or Twitter if you're following Centerline. And they're deployed within 40 hours of any natural disasters that may be happening. It's an amazing organization that gives shelter to thousands and thousands of people that most in the world don't even know about or struggling. Marketing challenges, and this is our check-in at 24 hours in to see how those are going. Starting with Josh Adele, I can't remember which challenge you're on.
I'm on challenge 3. We're generating how to generate more awareness of ShelterBox as a whole. So yeah, we're working hard on our primary piece, which is a PSA that we're working on for ShelterBox. Had a late night myself of scripting. As well as some comps that were being, some visual comps that were being put together for this video over the night as well. This morning we got in early and did a quick, maybe hour-long shoot pictures from ShelterBox locations onto the ShelterBox, along with some voiceover. So we're just kind of fine-tuning the voiceover now. We're going to be recording that hopefully very soon. We're kind of playing the sound design off of the pictures that we've chosen and things like that. So kind of doing everything separately, and then we're going to squeeze it all together.
Yeah. Nice. Are we lost connection on there, or are we still good?
It looks okay.
Okay.
It kind of flickered on and off, and kind of refocused, but I still see a person with a 1 next to it.
And is it still capturing video? Sorry to have to be asking things like that.
Hey, everybody.
Because I'm looking at my phone and it says lost connection. So
Swipe down.
No.
No, it looks like we're still on because it says stop broadcast, and we haven't done that.
Okay, well then don't stop the broadcast. We'll keep going.
Agile in action.
Yeah.
I was about to start picking my nose too.
We're still
We are? Okay.
and we're live.
All right, now we got the check-in, so we are still alive. So don't pick the nose.
So I'm not going to, I'm going to wait. Don't pick the nose. I'm going to wait.
All right, so you've got all those pieces in motion. You're going to be putting them together.
Yep.
What have you been doing with the clients here who are on site?
So yeah, we had a meeting with them at about 9. They actually came over to the studio where we were shooting, where we showed them the visual comps that we had, as well as the script that we put together, and they were really, really pleased with it, really happy and excited about it. So that was to start that way and kind of move forward as we put it all together. But we're in a really good spot right now.
That's great to hear. And then the next check-in that we're going to do is going to be at 5 o'clock.
Yep.
When's the first time things will be seen?
I hope by that time we'll have a recorded voiceover and a start to, we have about 2 animators kind of working on that, as well as an editor. So it's pretty work intensive until you kind of put everything, into the final product. So I'm hoping there may be that maybe we'll start to be done with actually putting some animation on just those components, and we'll be able to see some of those. But that's kind of hoping where we'll be. I think it's going to be a pretty late night for a lot of people. So,
and that's what happens when you do a lot of content creation in 48 hours.
Yeah. So
great. All right.
It's going to be cool though. We're excited.
Cool. Thanks for the check-in.
All right.
We'll get to the next challenge.
everybody.
Thank you very much, Josh. We'll be back with you. Who have we got next in the chair?
Dave, Tyler, Wally, fight over it.
Got it.
Tyler.
Let's do it.
All right, so we're going to pretend that we're still streaming, whether we are or not. I have no idea.
Oh, no, we are. We absolutely are.
Okay, good. Then I'll act more like a host and not so much like somebody complaining about a Wi-Fi connection.
Is it on?
Is it on yet? Is it on?
Hello?
Sounds like my mom talking to me on the cell phone.
Just turn it on.
Microsoft tech support. Turn it off and on.
Exactly.
All right, Tyler. So which challenge were you on, and where are we?
So I was on challenge 1, which is year-round giving. You know, obviously the goal is to not talk about the specific large disasters because there's, you know, again we talked about yesterday. There's around an average of every 2 weeks disaster hits that they're deploying, specifically ShelterBox. So my team, they were here. G-chat messages, Twitter, Instagram if you're following online with our hashtag Lab517. So we have right now 2 animators going for a 30-second spot. That is Chance and Jinky. We have Sam, our designer, working on infographics and doing 5 animated GIFs. We also have 2 live-action 15-second spots. So we have a walkthrough with 2 clients in-house, Chris and Carrie, around 1 p.m. right after lunch. We'll take them around to the individual stations. We just wanted to, I don't know. I think the idea is instead of a formal presentation, because this is so fun and everyone's together, it's collaboration and partnership, we wanted to get the experience that we have here at Centerline. Right. Yeah, I mean, things shifted in the middle of the night. Around 1 a.m., it was about to make the animation work, and we just moved it a little bit, and it's going to be great. It's going to work out perfectly. So we're happy about it.
All right, so you mentioned some video, you mentioned some social different types of mediums there, which means that there's probably several different channels you'll be working in.
Correct.
What's the big message at the core of all this? I know you said it was about donations, but is there a hook or storyline you're following through?
So there's not each individual has their own narrative arc and storyline they're following, all of a similar storyline. But the goal behind it was because there's different target markets, you know, we wanted to make sure we're covering, you know, a younger age range, the 30 to 50s and then the 50s plus, because everyone resonates differently. So we wanted to make sure that as we're going forward, we weren't targeting one specific, because since this is year round, we wanted to give them multiple that they can roll out throughout the year, just because, you know, you want to stay top of mind. You don't want it to be, the Ice Bucket Challenge was great with ALS. I haven't those things where that was a great push, but we want to make sure that we have a push as strong as that, but it continues throughout the year. And that was the goal behind it, is to give them multiple things that they can roll out throughout the year.
Like when a disaster happens, that's easy to market. When there's no disaster going on or not any that are top of mind, this is the hard part.
Exactly.
Okay.
I think that's the biggest challenge right now, because, you know, the future, so the biggest things, the future disasters that happen, we want to make sure that that is what's being talked about, because the money that was already given, if you give for, let's say, a year to handle it, we want to make sure that the next disaster that happens, the money's there for it.
What was it that they said yesterday? It was preparing for your worst day ever today?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Exactly.
So that goes on. Awesome. So we'll check in at 5, see how things are going?
Great.
All right.
Excited.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler.
I could be here the whole time.
So Dave can't leave.
Is it on? So you have my phone?
Yeah. We're holding him hostage. Still rolling it? How's it going?
It's good.
You're 24 hours in?
Yeah.
Yeah? Have you slept?
Yeah.
Have other people slept?
Yeah, of the people that slept,
Good.
we got our storyboards built last night. We knew where we were going. The team came in this morning. We started writing out our script. We have an interactive infographic that's going to scroll through how your donation helps.
Okay.
What is the actual process as your donation comes in? Like the disaster strikes, we've already pre-positioned those boxes. They're already paid for. We need to be ready for the next one.
Right.
So your donation, someone made a donation months ago, filled this box. When I make today, fills the next box, which is pre-positioned to help somebody tomorrow.
Okay.
So there's a nice timeline to the story of yesterday, today, tomorrow.
Nice.
Keep moving it into the future.
Yeah, so you can see it through.
Yeah. We were able to sit down with Chris. Our idea was how the story was working. They really appreciated it. They helped us tweak our message just a little bit to show how everything's working. We got almost all of our elements built, and we're starting our development. It should be coded by the end of the evening.
Nice.
And then we're taking the elements that we've built and cut them into social media messages and written some tweets to go with it and Facebook posts for them.
Cool. So one of the interesting things you mentioned there is that you sat down with Chris and Carrie. Those are the clients for ShelterBox that are here on site with us. And even though it feels like it might be a little bit in the functional weeds of stuff, part of being able to even do agile marketing of this type is exactly based around that idea that if you don't have immediate and rapid access to the client who really hold all that knowledge. You can't make all the right moves. You can't get stuff done more rapidly. You can't get out of the market. Right?
Absolutely, you've got to have somebody on hand who can make calls for you and can tell you, you know, you might be a little off here, but this is right on, or maybe we can just refine the message a little bit to help hit all the marks that they absolutely need to hit with this.
And what was the challenge again? So yours was around...
Our challenge was donation transparency, which is how does your donation work? Is it, I bought a box and this box is now, I paid for the whole thing and it goes out. We're trying to drive more donations towards allowing ShelterBox to use it where they need it, which is maybe it's not a box, maybe it's a pallet of supplies. Right. Maybe it's these shelter kits that people need to fix their houses that weren't completely destroyed. Mm-hmm. But it allows them to... They keep the boxes, and the box is this iconic symbol of the company, but it really gives them an opportunity to expand the base and move things where they need it.
Nice. Yeah, because that was one of the other things, and I know we've talked about it before, but when you're talking about the shelter box, these things are, your donation, your work goes toward those boxes that go to different parts of the world so they can be deployed rapidly. It doesn't mean that you pay for it today and it goes out tomorrow. Yeah,
Chris and Carrie, that if you pay for a box today and a disaster strikes, it's still going to be several weeks before they can get it there. The beauty of them is that they can respond within 2 days to anything that happens because they've already pre-positioned all the assets for them.
Yeah, and they're continually renewing. Mm-hmm. So, got some things in progress. Yep. About 5 o'clock, we're doing another check-in. Where will we be by then?
We should be well into development at that point.
Okay.
Everything cut into our, all the tweets set up, all of our Facebook messages set up, which we can provide to them and provide them the assets so when they Instagram or maybe any other social media that opens up tomorrow, they're able to go in and reposition those for themselves.
Nice. Good deal. Sounds like it's going well. Having fun. Well, thanks for checking in. We'll talk to you in a bit. Just Dave.
Just Dave.
The hotspot provider.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, I feel like 5 minutes of time.
You should. You can have as much time as you want, Dave, since we're using your data. So
Whoa.
Thanks for that.
Great.
So Dave, which challenge are you working on?
About the ambassadors, which are volunteers who, really, commit their time at a higher level, and they're very, these are folks that, they're not marketers. They're just people who really care about this cause. So. One of the things that ShelterBox really wants to help, not that everybody has to do things the exact same way, but at least the messages that they get out, to Rotary clubs, to schools, those same points, in the most effective way. So we've done some primary research already with some ambassadors who are already sort of at the top of their game. Right. Here are the lessons learned that they think. We've done a site audit already of the. The only thing about that is, you have sort of how Carrie and Chris explained it to us, is you have sort of a bell curve of people who are highly engaged, but there's a lot of people in the middle who, they only have so much time in the day. These are people who are, really giving up a lot easier for them to find the content that they can digest quickly, understand, absorb, and then get those marketing messages out in the world. So the site audit was to identify what are those best pieces of content, how can we so we, Lou, one of the strategists, just it's a card sorting exercise, which was super helpful to identify, what are those buckets, of content for us to sort of imagine what that site, the portal site, not ShelterBox's website, but the
about empowerment, right? This is about face-to-face communication, ambassadors for ShelterBox, having the right information to go and talk to people that they know or people they meet, to let them know exactly how it works, where their money goes, why it's so important on the spot. So I have no idea how much of donations do that, but I would be willing to bet that more donations come from people who have that kind of personal connection. So telling that same story is really important.
Yeah. And so, so part of this challenge is learning very quick and easy for those ambassadors who are, maybe in that larger part of that bell curve. And so we're playing with a creative hook around be deployed super quick because time is of the essence. So again, time is the essence for you to get up to speed and become the best ambassador you can be. So trying to give those quick tips, figure out could we compile some of this into an event in a box for them, because there are these sort of mini shelter boxes that are sort of more just demonstration purpose only, but they couldn't you can't fit stuff in it. Right. But we could put really great market masters who want to take that to an event and bring out just the best pieces of content in a physical way.
Right.
So there's that. And then the other sort of fun thing that we're working on is a challenge for ambassadors to get them just more engaged, more excited. So we're thinking of this sort of out of the box challenge where basically, think of the craziest way that you could possibly, promote ShelterBox. So there was a guy in England who ran an empty ShelterBox that's still 26 pounds on his back. And so what are other things that you can think of as an ambassador to do that? Could you live in a tree house for a week with a shelter box, and then make down out of the tree? Here are the things that you have to say that really make sense, and then go to other people in the ambassador community to one-on-one way of creating a program around that.
That is pretty cool. Just the idea of running a marathon with a box. If you go onto shelterbox.org, you'll see some of the pictures of how these boxes actually get to disaster sites. Sometimes, yes, they can be lifted in. Sometimes they can be trucked in, but a lot of times they're actually carrying these things on their back, strapped to their necks and heads and whatever else.
Yeah. And I just saw the FedEx guy bring ours the other day, and he did not look happy just bringing it from the truck inside. So you can imagine if you have to walk, a mile or two with this thing full.
Pretty amazing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, incredible. So it sounds like, and we're doing a lot of actual content creation, but it sounds like a lot of the things that you actually setting up a better framework to create content throughout from here until whenever. Until we need to change something in the messaging or anything else. So this is really more about coming up with a quick strategic fix so that they can create their own content moving forward rather than...
Really, this was the one challenge where I think everybody on the squad pretty much, except for maybe two people, were all strategists. It was, a really from UX to, there was everybody very engaged in solving a sort of a bigger problem than just, creating, but this was more of, what is that framework to help solve this communication challenge.
All right, so we're going to phone so you can have your Wi-Fi back. But thank you very much for telling us about the challenge. For anybody who's watching this now or anybody watching it later, along with the 48-hour challenge with the hashtag Lab517, you can get involved by following us at Centerline. We'll tell you how, or at ShelterBox. And the most important thing is to check out the website or to donate. See how these boxes are being used. Make sure you get involved with this. We're building a lot of content. We're trying to help them promote the effort, but donations is what it really comes down to. So thanks a lot.